We're closing in on just a couple of months before Samsung finally lifts the curtain on the Galaxy S26 lineup, and the excitement is starting to feel real. Every new leak adds fuel to the fire, and today's update gives us a clearer look at how Samsung plans to push camera quality even further on the Galaxy S26 Ultra. And here's where things get interesting. A fresh leak claims the Ultra is getting a major upgrade where it matters most. The main 200-megapixel camera now uses a wider f1.4 aperture, allowing the sensor to pull in more light than the Galaxy S25 Ultra. The tipster at Universe Ice even shared the image details, hinting that this is a legit improvement rather than a small tweak. Samsung is still using the ISOCELL HP2 sensor. It's a 1/1.3-inch sensor with 0.6 micrometer pixels, capable of 10-bit and 12-bit RAW. Thanks to features like dual slope gain and Smart ISO Pro, it's built to capture scenes with better range and richer detail. With pixel binning, it can output images in 12.5 megapixel, 50 megapixel, or the full 200 megapixel resolution. The full rear camera setup is shaping up like this: primary 200 megapixel ISOCELL HP2 1/1.3-inch f1.4 with optical image stabilization and Super QPD autofocus, ultrawide 50 megapixel with f1.9 and autofocus telephoto 10 or 12 megapixel with f2.4 3x optical zoom, optical image stabilization, and autofocus, super telephoto 50 megapixel with f2.9 5x optical zoom, optical image stabilization, and autofocus up front. Samsung might stick with the same 12 megapixel selfie camera found in the Galaxy S25 series, but the larger cutout suggests better light, cleaner footage, and possibly sharper video performance. Paired with more powerful chips like the Exynos 2600 or the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, the entire lineup is expected to get smarter and faster at processing images. There's more. All Galaxy S26 models could support the advanced professional video codec for higher quality video recording and better editing control. Combine that with improved electronic stabilization and lower noise, and it looks like Samsung is serious about giving creators a meaningful upgrade this year. Samsung's next big flagship is stirring up some mixed feelings. Premium Android phones now roll out with 16 gigabytes of RAM as the new normal, yet Samsung is holding its ground with 12 gigabytes on its top model. And it looks like nothing is changing for the 2026 Galaxy S26 Ultra, even though these phones are carrying more artificial intelligence features than ever before. The last time Samsung went all in with 16 gigabytes of memory by default was the Galaxy S21 Ultra. Since then, the company has played it safe, sticking with 12 gigabytes and only offering 16 gigabytes in a few Asian markets. It feels a little outdated, especially now that artificial intelligence features demand serious memory. According to a new post from Ice Universe, Samsung plans to keep the exact same setup for the Galaxy S26 Ultra. The base model will come with 256 gigabytes of storage and 12 gigabytes of RAM, followed by a 512 gigabyte option and a 1 terabyte tier. The memory stays the same across all variants except for a special 1 terabyte version with 16 gigabytes of RAM that will only be sold in China and nearby regions. There is at least one upgrade. Samsung is switching to faster LPDDR5X memory modules with speeds of 10.7 gigabits per second, up from 8.5 gigabits per second in the Galaxy S25 Ultra. That should help with memory-heavy tasks like image processing and night photography. Meanwhile, Google's entire Pixel 10 Pro series ships with 16 gigabytes, and OnePlus offers 12 or 16 gigabytes on the OnePlus 15. Samsung's smaller models, the Galaxy S26 and Galaxy S26 Plus, will also stick to 256 and 512 gigabytes of storage with 12 gigabytes of RAM. The small win here is that Samsung is finally dropping the 128 gigabyte variant for the base model. Apple has already pushed the iPhone 17 lineup to a base storage of 256 gigabytes, so Samsung likely had no choice but to match it. Component prices for memory and storage are climbing fast due to the surge in artificial intelligence servers and limited production capacity. That might be the real reason Samsung isn't ready to make 16 gigabytes the standard again on its Ultra model.